Good morning, good evening, and good day. Thank you so much for watching Attack Power Gaming. Today, we're going over the best infantry transports in Steel Division 2. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Steel Division 2 content and to help grow the channel. Let's dive right in. Now, here I have the most common infantry transports, and I did limit these down to transports that were heavy and could actually carry infantry squads, that were used for carrying infantry squads. Yes, there are bigger, heavier ones, but we're trying to look at which is probably the best. And when we're looking at that, there's really only one stat that we really care about, and that is speed. So here we see basically one from every faction and kind of every nation as well. Yes, there are definitely some duplicates here that are not here. For example, the ffiDma, that is actually a German vehicle that the French are using. But since it shows up in basically every French division, I decided to put it there to represent our French comrades, and instead of putting it with the Axis. So let's look at what we got here transport-wise. We have the Bedford and CMP for the British, and these are essentially the same. Well, they're not the same. I shouldn't say that. These are our two British options, one from the earlier part of the game and one from the later part of the game. Then also still on the Allied side, we have the ffiDma and the GMC, one for the French here, which is actually a captured German vehicle, and one for the Americans, the GMC. And then we have our Soviet trucks here. We have the Studebaker and the ZIS-5V. Hopping over to the Axis divisions here, we have the Opel Blitz and the KFZ-70. And finally finishing up, we have our Finnish and Romanian. Here, the Ford AA and the Ford G917T. Now, not on here is the Hungarian transport, but it is extremely slow and not good, which is why it's not even on this list, because it's not something you want to be using. And the only divisions that it comes up in are the Hungarian ones and the Hartnick, because they have some Hungarian troops. So I honestly just couldn't fit them on the page. It only goes 60 kilometers an hour. It's very, very slow. So we can see that the two most common transports in the game are the Opel Blitz and the Studebaker, and then the second most common are the KFZ-70 and the ZIS-5B, basically the backup transports to these two main transports up here. Now, every single one of these transports has essentially zero every stat, except the only one we care about is speed, right? They all have medium stealth all the way across the board here. Medium stealth, they'll still get seen pretty easily by most things. They all have low optics. They all transport infantry, which is heavy. Some they can transport like AT guns and stuff. It just depends on the division if they allow you to use them that way. They all have 2 health. Technically, you don't know this, but they have 2 health, so they won't die to a 1 damage. They will not die to a 1 damage AT weapon. They'll die to a 2 damage AT weapon. They also have no armor whatsoever, so they can get shot at with small arms and die. So if you drive right by an infantry squad, it's very likely these will get killed by the rifles, machine guns, or otherwise of the infantry squad. Okay, important to note. So what we really care about, though, is this, specifically the road speed. Speed is nice, but road speed is where it really, really counts. So let's start with the slowest stuff. We're going to start with the Bedford over here. Okay, so the Bedford and the ZIS-5V are our slowest, along with the Hungarian one that is not on here. They only have 60 kilometers an hour on-road speed and only 30 off-road speed. These are by far the slowest transports. They are not good, but truthfully, usually if you're using these, you don't have much of another choice for the most part. But whenever possible, you want to avoid using these because they are extremely slow. Our next in terms of speed is the ffiDma, which again shows up in about 5 different German divisions as well, and the KFZ-70, both at 70 kilometers an hour. I know it's only 10 kilometers an hour difference, but this does make a big difference at the end of the day. I can promise you, you will notice this change in speed. Okay. Then next, slightly faster, is the American GMC truck at 72 kilometers on road with 36 kilometers per hour off road. Then we have the Ford AA, which is the Finnish truck, at 75 kilometers per hour. Oh, I apologize. I did forget the famous Studebaker at 70 kilometers per hour with the DMA and the KFZ. And then our fastest transports are the CMP over here at 80 kilometers per hour and the Opel Blitz at 80 kilometers per hour as well, along with the Ford G917T, also at 80 kilometers per hour. So the fastest infantry transport we have here are the Opel Blitz Ford and CMP. So this does give the Germans a slight edge, Axis or Axis divisions in general, the Axis division a slight edge in getting to the battlefield with their actual infantry first. Now, you might be saying, well, how's that fair? That's total crap. It's really not, because on the flip side, which you'll see in another video here, the Allies have significantly faster light transports. So transport that only carry 2 or 5-man teams are significantly faster than the German versions. So they can still beat the Axis troops to the field by using those faster light transports to deploy troops earlier and stop the Germans from getting their infantry in first. So that's how it kind of balances out at the end of the day. There are a couple other transports. The Fallschirmjägers have their own little transport as well, but I'm not going to go through every single transport because they're all generally similar. It's just whether you're going faster or slower, and of course the faster you can go, the better. So whenever you have these opt for like an Axis division, when you have these two options, you're going to want to go with the Opel Blitz, and if you don't have enough, you want to go with the Opel Blitzes earlier. So go with your faster transports earlier, because that's when you need to get to the field fastest. You really need to be getting places quickly in Phase A so that you can grab that territory and establish yourself quickly and safely at the beginning of the game. Once the game has started, it's kind of almost more up to your predicting of the opponent's move, less so than you reacting to them. Yes, if you can go fast the whole game, if you have Opel Blitzes for the entire game, that's fabulous. But often in many divisions, you actually don't have enough to do that. You have to split it between these two. Same with the Russians here. Usually when you have Studebagers, you get a lot of Studebagers. So you're probably using all of these, but whenever you can avoid using as this 5e, that's a plus. So these are the infantry transports in the game. The main ones, again, there are others, but these are the main ones that are meant to actually carry your infantry squads and such of larger squad size. I hope you enjoyed this content. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourself a fantastic day.